Immigration Department detects false e-cards. 43 people bitten by dogs in SERIAN. Hello and good afternoon. I'm PRIYA. Welcome to News on 2. The Immigration Department has detected attempts to falsify the enforcement card or e-card, which functions as a temporary confirmation of employment for illegal workers. Director General Datuk Sri Mustafa Ali said the department had detected 40 out of these false e-cards since the registration exercise of illegal foreign workers began on February 15. He said the authorities have acted against the so-called agents who attempted to issue the false e-cards. Speaking after joining an operation to flush out illegal immigrants in Kota Kemuning, Selangor, he said a Bangladeshi national who had 8 false e-cards in his possession was also detained.
Dan kita telah tangkap seorang Bangladesh yang punya 8 kad ikat palsu. Daripada permulaan masa mula-mula kita nak melancarkan ikat, dia dah ada ikat. Lebih cekap daripada immigration nak nampaknya. Belum kita lancarkan lagi, dia dah ada ikat. Tetapi kita dah tangkap dia dan kita dah lumpuhkan syndicate seperti itu.
On the 2 operations, which began at 11 p.m. yesterday and ended at 3 a.m. today, Datuk Sri Mustafa said 156 illegal migrant workers and 2 employers, all aged between 20 and 45, were arrested in Sri Kembangan and Kota Kemuning. The arrested illegal migrant workers would be deported to their countries of origin. A total of 43 people have been bitten by dogs at 5 villages, which have now been declared as rabies-infected areas in the SERIAN district. 11 active case detection specialist teams from the Health Department are now at these villages to carry out active case detection activities there. Sarawak Health Director Dr. Jamila Hashim said these teams would go from house to house or from door to door in the longhouses to obtain information if there are residents who had been bitten by dogs since the duration. She said the dog category is classified into 3, namely household dogs, mixed breed of household dogs and wild dogs.
Risk 1 tiada luka, ya. Risk 2 adalah scratches, ya. Dan risk ketiga adalah open wound. And then mereka juga akan bertanya kepada orang tersebut, anjing dalam kategori apa yang adakah anjing peliharaan yang bercampur dengan anjing liar ataupun anjing liar. So mengambil kedua-dua faktor tersebut, mereka akan pakar-pakar akan mengenal pasti kes mana yang perlu diberikan vaksin, ya.
Dr. Jamila said cases of rabies infection only involved animal bites and there had never been a case involving human-to-human infection. She has also advised people from the 5 villages and other areas who have been bitten by dogs beginning April 1st to report their cases at the nearest clinic available. Dr. Jamila said this after the Sarawak Disaster Management Committee meeting chaired by Deputy Chief Minister Datuk Amar Douglas Uga Embas at Wisma Bapa Malaysia in Kuching yesterday. Meanwhile, 5 areas at the SERIAN district has been declared as rabies infection areas under Section 37 of the Public Veterinary Health Ordinance 1999 by the Sarawak State Government. The villages involved Kampung Kerait, Kampung Paun Rimu, Kampung Paun Rimu Bakung, Kampung Remun and Kampung Lebo. Sarawak Deputy Chief Minister Dato' Amar Douglas Uga said the State Disaster Management Committee set the limit to a 10-kilometre radius from the infected areas. The authorities are still researching the matter in order to find the source of infection.
We have not able to pinpoint. We are still studying them. Our veterinary department is doing the taking in the number of dogs and so on within the ground zero. We will find out the main cause. But in the meantime, we are tightening our borders.
Dato' Amar Douglas said security control will continue to be tightened, especially in border areas to prevent the entry of dogs or cats. He added that villagers have been advised to be cautious, especially for children who do farm work, if there were aggressive dog behaviors in their area. He said this after chairing the State Disaster Committee meeting in Kuching yesterday. The Health Ministry has not dismissed the possibility of the recently reported rabies infection at the SERIAN district may have been transmitted from Kalimantan, Indonesia. Deputy Health Minister Dato' Sri Dr. Hilmi Yahya said this was based on 9 similar cases which were reported in the country and also the location of the district which borders part of Kalimantan, Indonesia.
Sekarang ini tak ada perkembangan baru lah. Memang ini dalam kawalan, terkawal di SERIAN. SERIAN ini dia sebenarnya sebelah dengan Kalimantan. Di Kalimantan sana pun ada 9 kes difahamkan, ada 9 kes sana. Mungkin merebak ke SERIAN lah. Macam di sini lah, Perlis dulu. Di belah sana pun ada, merebak ke Perlis. Sampai ke Pulau Pinang, sampai ke balik pulau. Ya. Ada, jadi dalam terkawal, tak ada kes baru.
Dato' Sri Dr. Hilmi said this to reporters after flagging off the 29th Kuala Lumpur SEA Games torch run in Sekolah Kebangsaan Sungai Rusa, Balik Pulau Parliamentary Constituency in Balik Pulau, Pulau Pinang yesterday. On Saturday, 3 victims, which included 2 siblings, were infected. The siblings succumbed to the infection yesterday, while the 3rd victim remained ventilated and is critically ill. Meanwhile, a total of 6,000 rabies vaccines have been sent to Sarawak by the Veterinary Service Department to control the spread of the disease. Agriculture and Agro-Based Industry Minister Dato' Sri Ahmad Shabri Sheikh said 4 veterinarians have also been sent to monitor and help solve the issue. Dato' Sri Ahmad Shabri said the vaccine would be given to dogs and cats which had not been infected with rabies.
DBS akan terus bersama dengan DBS Sarawak untuk melihat perkara ini. Kita bekerjasama dengan Kementerian Kesihatan dan kita ingin mendapat maklumat sekiranya ada tanda-tanda merebak ataupun di luar daripada kawasan yang berkenaan. Kita akan segera mengambil tindakan.
The State Veterinary Department had earlier vaccinated the cats and dogs found 1 kilometre radius from 2 infected villages, which are at Kampung Paun, Sungai Rimau and Kampung Lebur Gebdong at the SERIAN district. Dato' Sri Ahmad Shabri said this at a media conference held in Setiawan, Perak after the opening of the Lumut Malaysian Fisheries College at the Kampung Aceh Fisheries Complex. The Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency MMEA must take stern action against foreign fishermen who fish in Malaysian territorial waters. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Dato' Sri Shahidan Kasim, said the agency should not compromise but seize the foreign fishing boats which encroach Malaysian waters.
Dan saya akan mengusulkan kepada pihak kerajaan supaya bot Vietnam yang kita sudah pun diselesaikan tu, sebenarnya kita tenggelamkan. Tetapi kita akan ambil tindakan yang tegas yang lebih daripada itu. Mungkin orang melihat bahawa laut di Indonesia sekarang ini bersih daripada nelayan asing. Dan nelayan asing tak berani pergi Indonesia sebab takut menterinya bom dan juga bakar bot mereka.
He stressed that authorities would widen the areas looking out for these foreign fishing boats encroaching Malaysian waters. He was speaking to reporters after visiting Petaling Street together with Civil Defence Force and Kuala Lumpur City Hall staff last night. A 16-year-old boy was killed after his body got wedged in a goods lift of a hardware store in Jalan Pekan Pendang Baru, Pendang, near Alustar, Kedah. Firefighters summoned at about 3 p.m. found the body of Muhammad Zairul Naim Zaini from Kampung Paya Palas, Pendang, pinned in the lift. Firefighters arrived at the scene at about 25 minutes after the call was placed. Upon arrival, they found that the victim's lower part of the body was in the lift and the upper part was jutting out onto the ground floor. Firefighters took about 30 minutes to bring the body out before handing it over to police for further action. Muhammad Zairul Naim's father, Zaini Saad, 45, said the eldest of his 4 children had started working at the store 4 months ago after resigning from a restaurant in Kuala Lumpur. Malaysia's economy may be able to grow at a rate of 5% or more this year based on the country's better economic performance achieved during the first half of the year. Treasury Secretary-General Tan Sri Dr. Muhammad Irwan Sarikar Abdullah said Malaysia was the most stable major Asian currency during the second quarter of the year.
I personally think we can achieve 5% or more, in terms of real GDP growth. We are having meeting with various parties like we call IAPG, Interagency Planning Group. EPU, MOF, Bank Negara, and DOS. We are going to have our budget. So in budget we will announce whether we are revising or not.
MIDF Research has revised its 2017 gross domestic product growth forecast for Malaysia to 5.1% from its previous projection of 4.9% on the back of a strong trade performance in the first 4 months. Speaking to reporters after launching the Malaysian Global Innovation and Creativity Centre's Global Accelerator Program in Cyberjaya yesterday, Tan Sri Dr. Mohamed Irwan said the government would be meeting with the Economic Planning Unit and Bank Negara Malaysia on whether there was a need to revise the GDP forecast for Budget 2018. Scheduled to be tabled on October 27th. Bank Negara had forecasted GDP growth of between 4.3% and 4.8% this year. Meanwhile, Tan Sri Dr. Irwan also projected that the ringgit's value will increase compared to the US dollar in the second half of this year. He added that the strengthening of the ringgit is supported by the recovery of the global market, which affects the increase in export and foreign direct investment.
We've never been in doom, It's all because of the volatility in the oil price and, the global market sentiment. That's why there was a slide, in the earlier part of the year. And when reporters asked me in January, I told them second quarter will be okay. If you remember, I don't know how many of you follow, my statement and so on. So now, we are getting better, and I hope ringgit will get better and better.
Tan Sri Dr. Irwan was commenting on a report by Bloomberg which placed ringgit as Asia's most stable currency in the quarter of this year. A new method of garbage management will be introduced, conceptualizing the use of more innovative green technology and applying the concept of garbage sale to generate income. Ministry of Energy, Green Technology and Water Secretary General Datuk Sri Dr. Zaini Ujang said the new method would use the waste-to-energy waste management technology as practiced in Sweden. He, however, declined to reveal how it will work, but pointed out it will allow for a more efficient process of collecting recyclable items. Speaking after a public lecture at University Tenaga Nasional, Uni 10, Datuk Sri Dr. Zaini said although the public has begun to separate their recyclable waste, some of them still put their recyclable and non-recyclable items together. He also said Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak will be revealing the new method soon. He said green culture can be further practiced by changing to energy-efficient electrical appliances as well as switching off lights when leaving the house. So tickets to the 29th SEA Games KL 2017 have begun selling to the public beginning yesterday. The tickets priced at 10 ringgit to 20 ringgit are sold online via www.kualalumpur2017.com.my, while their availability at various sales kiosks will be announced later. Tickets are required for entry to 19 events of the KL 2017, including the opening and closing ceremonies at the National Stadium, Bukit Jalil. Youth and Sports Minister Khairi Jamaluddin Abu Bakar said the ticket sales initiative was made due to limited capacity at some of the event venues and for a more systematic crowd control, especially for more popular events.
Jadi salah satu pendekatan untuk kita manage the crowd adalah melalui tiket. Jadi apabila kita melihat kepada sukan-sukan yang mana ada kapasiti yang terhad dan juga populariti yang tinggi, permintaan yang besar, maka sebab itulah kita telah cuba kawal kemasukan crowd itu melalui penjualan tiket. Dan saya percaya dan yakin untuk sukan ini penyokong dan juga penonton sukan tersebut mereka bersedia untuk membeli tiket bagi acara dan sukan tersebut.
He was speaking at the launching of the KL 2017 ticket sales in Bukit Jalil. The 29th SEA Games will be held from August 19th to the 30th. The sports events that require tickets for entry include aquatics, badminton, gymnastics, karate, taekwondo, pencak silat, futsal, netball, rugby, track cycling, basketball, sepak takraw, billiard and snooker, Muay Thai and football. The 32 other events that can be watched for free include aquatics, open swimming, archery, athletics, 10-pin bowling, boxing, cricket, cycling, equestrian, fencing, golf, hockey, ice hockey, judo, lawn bowl, pentatonic and sailing. On the 9th ASEAN Para Games from September 17 to the 23rd, the minister said no tickets would be required for all the events.